So you're thinking about moving to Boulder, Colorado, and you want to know the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, my opinion on it. Well, that's exactly what we're going to go over in this video, and we're going to jump into it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing in Denver or the surrounding areas like Boulder, then go ahead, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the market up here in Denver. My name is Jamie. The team and I get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you. So whether or not you're looking to make the move in 7 days or 70 days, go ahead, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move up here to Denver or Boulder, which is actually what we're going to jump into today, the pros and the cons of living up here in Boulder, Colorado. So Boulder has quite a few pros, a couple of cons. You're going to want to stick around to the end so you can hear my honest cons of Boulder, Colorado. But jumping straight into it, the first pro that we're going to touch on is the culture and the art scene. So Boulder was a hippie town back in the 1960s. I guess it can't be classified as that now, but it still definitely feels like it. There is art everywhere. There's 100+ galleries in the city. Every large space on the side of a building that could have an awesome mural on it has an awesome mural. There's street fairs, there's art shows, craft markets, Pearl Street Art Festival that happens every summer. There's quite a few individual artists, art galleries, a ton of visionary artists, a couple psychedelic artists that have some pretty awesome setups up there. Everyone's there to enjoy their life, have a good time. If you put up your hitchhiker's thumb on the side of the road and you need to get up to Netherland or anywhere, it's not going to be too difficult for you to find someone to pick you up. So it's pretty nice people up there. As I said, everyone's just trying to have a good time. They understand that Boulder is an awesome city and everyone wants to live there, so you might as well help out and help your fellow Boulderite. Boulder is definitely one of the friendliest towns I've ever been in, very accepting of everyone and their beliefs. Pretty much a hands-off sort of feel. No one is gonna push you to do what they want you to do. You can kind of live your life exactly how you want to with no judgment. No one is gonna kind of be a butthead about anything up there. Everyone's just gonna get along and have a great time living their life. Second pro we're going to touch on is the location. So Boulder is surrounded by green space. They did that for a reason. They don't want to be kind of trapped into Denver. So the closest city is going to be about Louisville or Broomfield up there, but then you also have the Flatirons, which are the beginning of the Rocky Mountains. Tons of trails up there. From Boulder, it's maybe 15 minutes to an awesome lookout spot that you could see over the entire city of Boulder into the city of Denver. We have Chautauqua Park up there as well, which during the winter, if it snows enough, pretty much turns into a little bit of a ski resort. The last time it snowed about 2 feet, I went up there. People had set up jumps. There was this huge rock that people were trying to do double backflips off of, which didn't work out well. But there's just tons of trails all around Boulder. You have flat trails, you have trails up into the mountains. Netherland, which is very close, is a place where a lot of the trails lead up there, which also has Eldora, which is one of my favorite ski resorts. It's pretty easy to get to. It's only about 45 minutes from one road on the northwest side of Boulder. You don't have to deal with any of the I-70 traffic, so that's a major plus. And a fun fact about Boulder is you can't own pets. No, you can actually only be their guardians. I think it might be the only city where they removed pet ownership and you are pet guardians. The pets own themselves. You're just watching over them and giving them food and water and love. Also, you have the job growth. It has about a 6.8% year-over-year job growth with a 2.6% unemployment rate, lower than the national average. And it's a great place for startups. It's a major tech center. A lot of companies like Google, IBM, Lockheed Martin, Amazon are all opening up smaller divisions. You also have the aerospace industry, and the outdoor gear industry is huge in Boulder. Next pro is going to be the schools. This is the Boulder Valley School District, which was ranked the #1 district in the Denver area. Most of the other districts up there also have an A ranking. It has about 124 schools, with 93 of those schools being private. That's a ton of schools. Boulder's not that huge, definitely not big enough to really house 124 schools. So you have pretty much your pick of the education that you want. There's also Boulder University, which has about a 30,000 population, right at the bottom of the Rocky Mountains. It's a great campus. And then 3 of the 13 high schools up in Boulder were actually ranked nationally as the best high schools in the country. So overall, there's a ton of school options, A+ school district ratings. And then the last major pro that we have is gonna be the nightlife. So it is a college town. Naturally, there's gonna be a lot to do. You have the Hill, which is over on the west side of Boulder, mostly a college hangout. It's gonna be an actual hill. It has the Fox Theater, which has huge artists that go to it. I've been there a couple times. I love that venue. There's Burrito Place down the road, Pizza Place down the road. There's a couple of little clubs around there. And Boulder Theater is also pretty large. It has some pretty big names come and play there. It's right off of Pearl Street, pretty much in the downtown area. And then you have all the breweries and restaurants on Pearl Street that stay open till 2 a.m. Pearl Street's pretty much your main hub for nightlife. Besides 29th Street Mall, which has a couple bigger restaurants, but not really the whole nightlife feel, you're gonna wanna stick to Pearl Street for that. You also have the Absinthe House that has a bunch of house DJs. So any sort of music style that you're in, you can definitely find something to do in Boulder. It's a very lively city that runs pretty much 7 days a week. As it's a college town, you can find something to do on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. It's kind of a city that never sleeps. We're gonna have to jump into the cons now, with one of the major cons being an obvious traffic. Boulder wasn't really built for a ton of people. Most of the streets are 1 or 2 lanes through, but you have 36 going down into Denver, which gets pretty backed up on the weekdays. On the weekends, it's not too bad. That's your main stretch to Denver and back. Inside the city, it gets kind of bad going into the downtown area. The outskirts aren't too bad, but it is a walkable city and cyclists run the city. So if you're within biking distance of your work, I would suggest that. Tons of people walking. You're gonna be stopping at red lights waiting for pedestrians to cross 9 out of 10 times that you're pulling up to stoplights. The next con that we're gonna jump into is Boulder is loud and lively, which is either a pro or a con for you, but I'm just gonna throw it under pros for the sake of this video. With a 36,000 college population, it's a college town. I mean, pretty much the college area is loud. There's something going on every day of the week, parties every night. If you're gonna move up there and you don't plan to live that sort of lifestyle, go ahead and contact us and we can show you some of the areas where you're not gonna be bothered by that too much. But parties every night of the week, concerts every night of the week. The last con that we're gonna jump into is something kind of quirky and unique with Boulder. You know, they love their quirky uniqueness. They have a couple weird laws, which would include the sugar tax, which is a 2-cent tax per ounce on any sugared beverage that you buy. I can see where they're going with it, trying to get people not to buy sugary drinks, but a 2-cent tax or up to 20 cents tax is not going to make you not buy that Coke or Dr. Pepper or Sprite or anything like that. And then there's not a lot of fast food in Boulder. Definitely not a lot of chains, maybe 1 or 2 Wendy's, 1 or 2 Taco Bells. I don't think there's a McDonald's. Boulder's very health conscious, so they really don't want a lot of fast food chains popping up inside city limits. But there's choices for real estate for anyone's needs. Whether or not you're moving in 7 or 70 days, go ahead, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move up to Boulder, Colorado. And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market up here in Denver, and I'll catch you next time.